So you can continue.
Long term, I'm a generational master beekeeper who cares passionately about honeybees. Yes, in order to keep our 60 species of Hawaiian bees that are endemic and solitary, a new model will be needed to be created in order to preserve them. These bees are not sexy like panda bears that everybody is familiar with. They have special needs because of their entomology, the science of insects. What makes them different from honeybees is what is causing them to become extinct.
You mentioned um, the problem is the reduction of habitat for these bees because there's no flowers so they can go and feed on it.
So it's
Are you
not that there's no flowers, it's that we have actually reduced their guidance system of these solitary bees. Their system is they jump 100 feet to find their next source of food. So if we've put highways or cornfields, we've boxed them in to their only habitat, and they're not able to get to the rest of the island where they need to eat.
But you should wait for the end of the question
Oh, okay.
because that's not very.
I'm ready.
But anyway, so what? How would you be able to solve this problem then?
So making a new model. So my first two technical barriers for these solitary bees is making a bee feed as part of my proof of concept, which is beneficial to honeybees, to see that they are healthier than they would be on their own
Oh, okay.
in order to grow the population so that I can move them or find a commercially viable reason for them. So they're endemic to Hawaii. There's ones that are in South America, but they may be seen as pests or there may be habitat lost in South America. It's much better, and no one's done this to my knowledge, taken something that's endemic from Hawaii and used it as the intention was of bringing mongoose to Hawaii or these other species that we imported to Hawaii, which are disastrous. Maybe the reverse will be the benefit because of Hawaii's uniqueness, that we could export it to Illinois, for example, and know that it will die over the winters.
Right.
So no unintended consequences is a commercially viable thing in the farther future once the technical barriers are overcome.
Okay. So, would you be also thinking of selling products eventually?
Yeah. So the honeybee feed, my estimate
For
is
honey, you'll be producing honey.
Yeah. So two things. Honeybee feed, I would sell a package at $25, and that's the market standard for beekeepers. So that's where I got the $75 million gross estimate from,
Yeah. Okay.
is 2.5 million beehives in the mainland, lower 48, and they would use it at least one season up to 3 seasons. So the beekeeper would buy $25 to $75 per hive, 2.5 million times.
Yeah.
Honey, I intend to sell at minimum $2 an ounce. So each healthy honeybee hive can produce 300 pounds a year, which would gross $9,600 profit gross per hive. So 10 hives, which is what the $30,000 is for, would return on an investment gross $96,000 after the 2 years, yearly. So I'm using the first year as research, and then yearly after that, it'll return on investment $96,000 gross.
Okay.
So two different things.
Yeah,
And I
that's pretty
don't
good.
have an answer for the Hawaiian solitary bees, what their value is.
That's part of the research. Maybe.
That's part of this proof of concept.
Right.
And then,
Where would you have already a land where with the bees are?
so for my honeybees, it's on an organic farm here. It's called Kalihi side.
Oh, okay.
So a small organic farm.
In Kalihi Valley.
So they're calling it Kalihi side. I don't know but I believe the valley. Yeah.
Okay.
Not town.
You own.
No.
No.
Through this project, I was helpfully given the great advice to meet chefs. One chef who's willing to invest time and energy in me, then had his friend that he works with who's the farmer giving me time, energy, and now a value of land that's in an organic area versus where I'm at now, which is Kuniakai,
Right.
because of the huge amounts of chemical pesticides that they're spraying has decimated my beehives there. I keep them because they're Hawaiian bees, which has the valuable venom. So I don't sell the honey because I know it's pesticide ridden.
Okay. Pretty good, I think.
Anything else?
Can you give a little bit more background of the cultural values of the bees for the Hawaiians? Have you done some research for the?
So from UH Manoa, there's, and I'm not going to claim any authority on this, but according to them, there's people who ask, what is Nalo Mele mean? Why are these endemic bees considered with the word honey associated with them? So I'm sharing with them, no, they don't make honey in the sense of 300 pounds a year to a beekeeper. They do make what's called honeydew, and that's a common name term versus a scientific name. So bees take in nectar into their body. When they expel it and leave part of it on the flower, there's enzymes from the bee itself that has now changed that nectar into what we call honeydew. What value does that have to our biodiversity? I don't know if it helps the happy-faced spider or if it helps what were honey creepers or if it helps other insects like dragonflies. I don't know